It is Tuesday. Just got done mowing the yard. Your boy got a weeder eat. As you see, I got it in my hand. So we still working to make sure that we have a well manicured yard because we have to make sure that we take care of the things that are ours, take care of our responsibilities. Puts us in a good mood when we're not around disorganization, filth, etc. But I got to do my reflection walk on Tuesday. We got Tuesday content coming up. And as I'm mowing the yard, I started thinking about the hero's journey and how us men must embrace the hero's journey. Now, I know you might be like, what is the hero's journey? And I'll explain it to you. So we all look up to superheroes, right? Anime characters, whether it's Batman, as you see, I got on my Batman mask, Superman, Goku, Vegeta, Jin Woo from Solo Leveling, any of those characters. You know the reason why we admire those characters is because they had to go through something in order to become strong, become powerful, become the person that the world relies on to solve problems. And in life, that's what men must do. If you want to have a certain level of influence, whether it be content creation, if you're an athlete, if you are doing something impactful in the world, you must go through the hero's journey because that's what people respect more than anything. Now, we all know that women wait at the finish line for the best guy. We know that. But we're talking about the hero's journey. We're talking about when men, when boys, when they're looking for somebody to look up to emulate, to have that image of power, wealth, influence, success, being strong. These are the qualities of the hero journey. When you go through things in life and you just don't take it sitting down, you don't hold that L for a long period of time. When you get knocked down, you get back up. And when you get back up, you learn from the mistakes that you made. That is part of it. See, we all have to go through trauma. We all have to figure things out. In order to solve problems, there has to be a problem present. And that's what is a chapter into your hero's journey is how did you work through that? How did you think things through? When you were down and out and people had all of the odds against you and didn't think that you were going to come out on top, what steps did you take in order to make sure that you did come out on top? See, this is why the hero's journey is important for men. We must go through things. We must go through trauma. We must have the world against us in order to bring the best out of us. And if you're not willing to do that, then you will never be that person that creates an impact on this earth. Don't think about being a content creator that has a significant level of influence and power if you're not willing to go through shit. We all have to do it. You cannot run from it, you run to it. When things seem like it's just no way of getting past it, you got to figure out a way. That's why people like Batman so much, because he always has a solution to a problem. He uses that prep time. That's what you got to do in life too. Even though Batman is a fictional character, there's certain qualities within Batman that make us, like myself, gravitate to him. He always figures it out. He remains calm, he thinks things through, and then he executes. So embrace the hero's journey no matter what. When you have people that are looking up to you, or they're relying on you for being their strength, their backbone, their foundation, like your woman or your children, or if you are a older sibling and you got little sisters or little brothers, they're still going to be looking up to you. But in order for them to look up to you and respect you, you got to go through the hero's journey. They're watching you. So do not quit. Do not stop. Believe in yourself and continue to push forward no matter how difficult the circumstances are. Tuesday content starts right now. Good day, good people. It's AT Malone, the first of my name because the second is already here. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more videos from your boy. Now, as you've seen, your boy had to do the yard today. Now, why did I have to do the yard today? It was the only time that I could do it. I got called into work tomorrow, so I'll be up early once again. Check out that morning PSA because that shit will be dropping probably around 5 o'clock in the morning. We got to do what we have to do. Listen, I'm not a uber wealthy guy. I still got bills. I still got unexpected expenses like spending hundreds of dollars getting my Mercedes fixed because of the window not being able to roll down. So I got to pick that up tomorrow or the next day. So I have a lot of things to do. And today was the only time that I had to actually take care of the yard because my son has 2-hour basketball practice today, right after school. After I clip up, edit this video, I gotta get dinner ready. He gotta eat on the way to the gym. So it's busy today, man. But I would not trade this lifestyle for anything in the world. And this is why I brought up that hero's journey. I love the fact that I can document the things that go on within my life because I'm the everyday guy. Even though I do things sort of different as far as what my dynamics are within my household, at least you guys get to see what goes on with a single father being a homeowner and the responsibilities that come with being a father and maintaining a household. I'm not in a position to pay somebody to mow my yard. I'm working towards being able to make my time more valuable elsewhere, and I can pay somebody to do that. But until then, listen, it only costs me about $11, including paying my son to mow that backyard, to knock it out. I got to do what I got to do. All right. So back to this hero's journey. I want to touch on that a little bit more, guys. Listen, everybody remembers what you do that was spectacular, what was impactful. Everybody says Jordan game 6 because he had the flu. Everybody talks about LeBron being down, 3-1 when, the Cavaliers were playing Golden State. Those type of events will last forever. So do not forget that your life is a story for you to tell your children, your children's children, people online who follow you and that respect you and look up to you. So when times get hard and you have to deal with adversity, just remember, whenever you get through it, make sure that you live to tell the tale, or tell somebody else and they can tell the tale for you in the event that you're not able to. But always embrace the journey, understand what comes along with the hero's journey, and continue to move forward. All right. So as you know, it's Tuesday, and you know why we are here. We are on the richest man who ever lived, King Solomon's secret to success, wealth, and happiness. And we're still on chapter 2. This is part 4. And the title of this chapter is The Key to Winning Every Race. Now, last week we talked about the consequences of not being diligent. For an example, you will be ruled. You will lack understanding. And today, this week, we will talk about how can you bring true diligence into every area in your life. Now, Solomon gives us 4 steps we can use, but we must avoid the roadblocks of being lazy and taking the path of least resistance. Solomon shows us how to deal with these seeds wherever they lie and replace them with seeds of diligence. Now, recognizing the root cause of laziness. According to Solomon, these are the root causes of laziness: self-centeredness, conceit, which is arrogance, ignorance, and irresponsibility. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is self-centeredness. Every man's way is right in his own eyes. And this is Proverbs 21:2. We naturally see things from our own point of view. At times, it's hard to shift our focus on doing what's in the best interest of others. Solomon suggests we ask ourselves what course of action we could take that would be in the best interest of all who are affected. Now, I've said this a ton of times here. Every decision I make, I have to keep my son in mind, because whatever decision I make directly affects him. So me not being a self-centered selfish parent, putting my own self-interest first, it just cannot happen. Now, I know you guys probably grew up with selfish parents who really didn't give a damn about you, who would kick you to the side and they would rather hang out with other people. Or if you had a father that was a Rolling Stone, he was out there hoeing, fucking a whole bunch of bitches out there and coming home to your mom, and your mom's pissed off, and then you wondering why they fighting and all of that stuff. Those are certain things that we in life have experienced, and that's because that parent was only focused on themselves. They were self-centered. They'll sit there and feed themselves a, 5-star meal and bring you home McDonald's or Taco Bell because they're too good to eat that type of stuff. This is the type of self-centeredness that Solomon is talking about it here. And if you are a great parent like myself, you're not even thinking about yourself half the time. You know that you will give the clothes out of your back. You will give your kids the last food that's in the refrigerator in order for them to eat. You cannot be self-centered because it's going to affect the people around you, whether you're a parent, whether you're a guardian of somebody. You gotta take yourself out of the equation and start thinking about what's in the best interest of others. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is conceit, which is arrogance. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. That's Proverbs 26:16. Now, we often think we're smarter than those around us and act without seeking advice. We think our way is always the right way, and we need to accept that there are others who know more than us and smarter than us. Those who are truly diligent seek out the advice of several wise counselors before embarking on any important course of action. Now, I'm a guy. I was a boy before, and I know you men out there could definitely relate to this. Now, between the ages of 11 and 13, we go through what I call the stupid phase, where our hormones are raging, puberty is still running at an all-time high, and we just act before we think. And this is what my son is going through right now. I tell him all the time, man, you are going through your stupid phase because you keep doing a whole bunch of dumb stuff without thinking. And anytime he takes an action that is wrong, I stop him and I say, look, why did you do this? He don't have an answer because we didn't have an answer. We don't know why we were doing the things that we were doing. So we have to backtrack and reverse engineer it and figure out why that went wrong, why that action that you took was wrong, and assuming things, right? He'll start assuming things and make the wrong decision, whether it be at school, on that basketball court, and we'll have to sit down and talk about it. And I'll ask him, why didn't you just ask? If you didn't have the answer, why did you assume? When you are questioning things and you have people that you can seek counsel with, ask them. And I suggest you guys do this. Make sure that you penetrate that information of making sure your kid seeks out counsel before they make a really, really bad decision, so they don't grow up and develop that bad habit of making bad decisions and then suffering the consequences later. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is ignorance and irresponsibility. Now, Proverbs 24:30-31 states, I went by the field of the slothful and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles had covered the face therefore, and the stone wall thereof was broken down. See, I'm glad that they broke this whole thing down because I have no idea what was just stated. But the good thing is, we have the answer to why I was questioning this. Now, Solomon calls ignorance and being irresponsible foolishness. Think about it. It's easier to act out of ignorance than it is to become educated because it takes effort to become educated. Now, remaining ignorant and foolish will have devastating consequences. Even worse is irresponsibility, knowing what you should do and choosing not to do it. Now, we can talk about the state of the economy and what people are going through, but a lot of these things, like people having any kind of debt, whether it's student loan debt, credit card debt, any kind of debt, those things are self-inflicted wounds. We know that. If you're not budgeting your money, you're not living below your means. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're door dashing using Klarna or buying concert tickets using Klarna. Those are the self-inflicted wounds that is being irresponsible. That's what that definition is. You got every single control over these things and you're choosing not to. You're not thinking about being responsible with your money and with your finances. And this is why consumer debt is at an all-time high. Okay, fine. You might have lost your job. Cool. I get it. I've lost my job plenty of times. But this is why when you are up and you're working, you're bringing in a paycheck, you live beyond your means, you save your money, especially for, a rainy day. You have your couple of months of bill money put to the side, emergency fund. That way you don't run into these problems, okay? You have to be responsible with your finances, especially as you get older. And hopefully you have good parents that are involved in your life to teach you about budgeting. I do that with my son all the time. We take out his money that he earns. He lets me know how much he's earned, and he knows how much that he's able to spend if he finds something that he wants to buy. All right. So the last thing that we're going to talk about is laziness results in more laziness. And Proverbs 24 says, the sluggard will not plow by the reason of the cold. Therefore, shall he beg and harvest and have nothing. Now, we all know the fable with the grasshopper and the ant. And the grasshopper during the summertime, all he was doing was singing and dancing, having a good time. He was chastising the ant because the ant was storing food for the winter. He was harvesting. And the grasshopper was trolling him, telling him, hey, you working too hard. You should be enjoying this weather like I am. And the ant wasn't listening to him. He just continued to make sure that he stored that food for the winter. And when winter came, guess what happened? The grasshopper started dying because he had nothing to eat. And when he went to the ant to get some food, you know what the ant told him? No, hell no. Go ahead and continue to sing and dance your way to go getting you some food, because I'm not giving you nothing. You remember when you was talking all of that shit to me during the summertime when I was over here storing this food, harvesting it, making sure I was stacking up enough food for the winter time, and you was trolling me? Absolutely not. And this is how I feel as well as when it comes to able-bodied men. My theory is always going to be this. If you are an able-bodied man and you can go get a job, regardless of if you fell on hard times because life happens, the last thing that you should be doing is outside with a cardboard with, need money, need some food, all of these things when you could literally just go get a job. Now, a lot of guys and people in general, they have their idea of what type of company that they want to work for, what position they want to have. And maybe they're too good to push carts at Walmart or do landscaping work. Listen, if you are down on your luck and you don't have no money, you better take any type of job possible. Anybody that can hire you, okay? If you are a hireable candidate. Now, if you got a criminal record, even those people can find jobs, whether it's like doing construction, getting paid under the table, they gonna find a way. And the last thing that they wanna do is sit there, on the side of the road with a sign talking about I'm homeless, need help, and all of this other stuff. Listen, if you able-bodied and you can get a job, you can fill out an application, go do that shit, because I'm not gonna feel sorry for you if you are homeless and you had the availability to go out there and work. Stop being lazy and take care of your business. All right. Well, that is Tuesday content. That is all I have. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Peace.
Feel like they tryna box me in, so I keep a small circle around me. So fuck friends, I can't be real.